What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Simple Cuts 802 on this Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th, and I am out here checking out a property that I have picked up, and I am doing a quick walkthrough of the property, just looking for some of the hazards or anything that I can hit that may cause damage to the mower while I am out here. Again, this is my first time on this property, and as you can see, it was cleaned up by some heavy equipment, but there's a lot of debris that was left behind. So I am making sure that my small equipment, aka my zero turn, won't get out here and accidentally hit something and cause damages and have me dipping back into my pocket again to fix something else on my mower that I've already been doing so far in this 2026 season. So sit back and enjoy this video. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to chime back in here shortly with some topics, and we'll wrap this video up here. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning and an OG subscriber that always sticking around with me on the journey, hey, thank you for coming back, and we're going to dive into it. So let's jump on into it. So my question for today is, how exactly do you pay yourself? And how exactly do you add up the percentages that you pay if you have employees? How do you actually manage all of that? What is your strategy? How much money do you actually try to pocket for yourself at the end of each week, at the end of each service from each property? How is it you actually keep that in order and it's very beneficial to you as the end all? I'm just curious. I see a lot of people online, and I pass a lot of companies here in my area in person, and I'm always curious as to how the revenue aspect works for everybody individually. I know you have certain positions. If you have more than one truck, I know you're going to have certain people with, I guess you can call it crew bosses. If you have more than one actual set of guys and girls that are going out here, in each direction daily, how is it that you actually, when all is done, how is it the actual owner, which is self, make sure you have some type of income in your pocket that is worth it? I'm just curious. I'm not asking for personal business as far as actual breakdown numbers, but just your strategy on how you make sure your income is also as good as you're paying your employees. And how exactly do you pay your employees? Is it by the property? Is it by the hour? Is it by the services that they provide? Because I know some companies have totally different areas that they work in. You have your lawn crews, you have your landscaping crews, you have your crews that go out and do spraying, you have your crews that go out and do shrub work, you have your crews that go out and do tree removal, all of that. So I'm just curious, how do you manage all of that and make sure that you have enough income for your employees, and then more so the employer, which is yourself? My second question of the video is, how are you managing right now with the way, everything is set up? I mean, I know this is like a common conversation, but let's just say right now we're crossing over into the soon to be last week of May in the next coming days. And June, July, August, your pretty much peak months before we start going downhill to the winter. How are you managing things right now? How is your equipment standing up? How is repairs affecting you? Have you been smooth sailing so far, or have you been actually having breakdowns? What are you doing right now far as, retaining your equipment? Like, have you stepped up and bought something new, or are you just sitting around right now and waiting for maybe the economy to get better? Like, just let me know what your strategy is right now in 2026. I know a lot of things that are going on right now in today's world isn't something that any of us predicted or really want to be going through, but what right now, as far as how this season is going and the prices of everything, what is it making you do more of, and what is it making you do less of? Just leave that in the comments. I'm just curious. This is one of those videos where I'm just asking more questions just to get some general feedback and actually just interact a little bit more with my subs and viewers. I know I don't answer my comments very fast. I try to answer them every other weekend or so when I get the time to, once they stack up a little bit and I go through and read them. But this conversation right here alone could help somebody else. So that's another reason why I'm asking just generalized questions. Another question: where are you getting your advice from? Who are you listening to that is giving you advice on your business operations? What channels have you found to be very informative and enlightening, and have gave you a lot of good point of views that you've already implemented into your, strategies? There are so many channels on here. I mean, some people drop content so frequently it's hard to even keep up with. And a lot of guys do more talking on their channel about their experiences versus actually showing, the type of services they provide. And a lot of people like that. So I'm just curious. I'll just make this video a question and answer video that y'all can answer in the comments. what channel has benefited you the most on YouTube? One that you can't wait from week to week for that one individual to drop a content that you can watch and soak something in. I know a lot of the comments and a lot of the actual conversations are, repetitive. A lot of people saying the same thing, but it's just coming from a different person. But there's always that one person that you take a lot of advice from and use daily to help you out, help you grow, and get by in your lawn care business. So just drop in the comments if you made it this far. What channel is it that you view, or Instagram page or TikTok, whatever social media platform? Who is it that you really enjoy thoroughly and soak in the most knowledge from and use it daily? Last but not least, the final question: what have you done for yourself lately? How have you treated yourself so far this season? Have you given yourself a break? Have you gave yourself a mental and physical evaluation of what's going on with you, throughout today's society? There's so much to soak in, rather if it's you can easily find negative. It's everywhere. It's on the TV, it's on your phone screen, it's on your tablets. Negative is everywhere. Where do you go to escape it? How do you escape it? How do you function through it? Do you run into people that you call your friends or your actual family or associates that come around and want to converse about certain things, or they, or even yourself, you bring a lot of different conversations to the general society? How do you manage mentally and physically to not be consumed by so much of the negativity that's going on right now? There's a good bit of positive stories out there, but I heard a saying once that says negativity gets more shine than positive news. And sometimes when you turn on your TV, or like I said, look at your phone screen, that's the absolute truth. It is something going on that is like, man, not this again or not that again, etc. So what is it you do daily or weekly to actually balance out, trying to stay informed in what's going on in your area, news wise, etc., versus just making sure that your own mental health is in check and your sanity is okay? Everybody is human. Everybody goes through ups and downs and mental challenges and good and bad days, but just leave in the comments how you face and challenge anything that may cause adversity to you, or just how you manage daily to get through everything that's going on in and out of society. Thank you again for tuning in to Simple Cuts 802 Lawn Care. This is your host, Simon. Hopefully you take a time to answer all of those questions down in the comments. Like I said, you never know who you may help, who's watching, who's actually reading. That's a lot of people's, thing to do, is read the comments and actually just interact in that situation. So thanks for tuning in. Please give some positive feedback, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.